From bold fashion prints swirling through the streets of Accra to filmmakers huddled around storyboards and musicians trading rhythms under towering palm trees, the Creatives Connect Africa conference is pulsing with the sound and color of a continent rewriting its own narrative. But beneath the light and laughter, a louder message is rising. African creatives say they're done being boxed under culture. They want to sit at a table of trade and industry where real money, real policy, and real opportunity live.
Now, what we are looking at is how do we make it easier for creatives to actually trade. So it is Creatives Connect Africa in terms of using the creatives to connect Africa and to actually trade with one another so that we can be able to commercialize hobbies, if you may put it that way. So the young people, the women, they do what they like, fashion, look at me, but what happens? They also make money out of it. And then they connect with other creators from different countries. And you know, Africa, we know how to do things, yeah? And putting in our cultural components in it and see what we come up with.
Founder and director of Hyphenate Media, Fela Oke, says the problem starts with how African governments classify film, arguing that the industry is still treated as culture rather than commerce.
We still see film as a cultural thing, ideology, a nice to have. So in most, I'm not sure I know an African country where film sits under trade. My thing is film is a product, is a tradable asset, and I think we've got to see it as that first, that you can commercialize film. We are over-focused on exporting, directly or indirectly, our stories, but we're not so bothered about if it's financially viable. So I think a lot of filmmakers are I want to make a film because I want to sell it to Hollywood, but you should be saying I want to make a film because I want to sell it to South Africa, Malawi, Ghana, Nigeria.
From Nollywood's global rise to Amapiano taking over world stages and African fashion dominating international runways, the continent's creative industries already punch above their weight. Filmmakers say Africa has no shortage of talent, but the red tape around producing and distributing content on the continent makes it difficult for creatives to sell their work.
I think it's very important that we as Africans, take control of our own narrative because increasingly the world is looking towards Africa, right? And not everyone is going to get on a plane and come here to find things out for themselves, So media becomes the window through which they see the continent, and so we have to take control and show who we truly are, what we are about, how beautiful we are, how strong we are. I think being able to portray us through this lens of dignity is very important for ourselves, for our sense of self-worth, and also for how the world sees us. I think that's really important. So it's easier for my films to get distribution, whatever, in the West than it is to get here, because I have to speak to, different people and at different borders, it becomes a bit of a hassle.
Amid the energy and bright ideas filling the conference halls, organizers say the real barriers lie outside these rooms, saying the absence of homegrown digital platforms and policies is slowing down young creatives before they even begin.
Inhibiting factors, we don't have our own African-grown platforms, and that makes it very difficult for us to use platforms that we don't own to be able to communicate with the world. The cost is prohibitive. And the funding for creative is also very difficult to get. So as starters, emerging talent, emerging creatives, become very difficult for them to penetrate and to be able to compete on a ground level at global level. And what I mean by on the ground level at global level, as beginners, they have nothing to start with.
For many here at Creatives Connect Africa, the call is simple. Shift the arts from culture to trade, and Africa's creative economy could finally unlock its full potential. Prabashni Mudli, SABC News, Accra, Ghana.